Right on. Hey kids, welcome back to another stream. My name is John Bartman. I'm going to be working on some more of this 80s action style music today. I started this last week Friday because I want to release this template as one of my free templates. Check the link in the channel description. For the actual project file, when you download my template files, you get the Ableton project with all of the music composition, and I tend to just use default Ableton plugins, which makes it really easy and portable to use. So no missing VSTs or samples. That's kind of my gig. So yeah, you've been listening to this, and I'm giving it a bit of suspense before we get into the actual meat of the tune, which I want to write today. So let's just jump right in with that. Din, 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 din. We're going to get another drum roll there. Now we need a core beat. So let's just jump right in and start writing a core beat using this little APK keyboard over here. I'm going to just find the right channel. There we go, cool. There we go. Here we go. Cool, so that's running now. Let's just cut that off to these 8 bars over here, these 4 bars over here. Good, there we go, got that in place. Now as we move over to the snare, 2, 3, 4, where's the snare? We'll get a beat going here in no time. I'm going to just record the full 8 bars so I don't have to do a crop and stuff later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, that's it. I got the timing a bit wrong there, but it's okay. Alright, so what I'm doing is piecing together the core beat, the kick and the snare, of course, being the core beat, and I'm going to now sequence that out into a middle section, which is the beef of the song. And yeah, basically just put together this action template. What are you doing today? If you're just hanging out or you've just woken up or whatever, let me know. I love chatting to people while I work. kind of here to just meet people, find out what you guys are up to, and maybe talk Ableton. Cool. Let's. It'd be cool to get some kind of like generative MIDI here where we didn't have to actually sequence every note. An arpeggiator would work. I think an arpeggiator would work with the with that. I've also realized I've got a second drum machine in here, which is this one here, 80s drum machine, and we're going to use that, I think, for some of these beats. I mean, definitely the drums, that DR220 drums. Let's see if we can do this with a. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate that and see if we can use an arpeggiator on the hi-hats to get some. Not really, eh? There, it does work. Cool, that's great. Now we just need to. Now we need to mess with the sample size. So what I'm going to do now is, instead of what we usually do is write out the MIDI, like note by note, I'm going to just use an arpeggiator to get some of these values in, and then we can mess with the envelope, the amp envelope of this sample to give it some kind of length and to cut it down to shortness. So I'll show you what I mean. The first thing I want to do is change this simpler instrument to a sampler. It's more sophisticated. Then I'm going to get over to the actual envelope, the volume envelope. The important thing here is the decay value. So I'm going to actually just give that its own value. I want that to be, let's just give it the value of 48. So let's try this. And now I'm going to hold down the. I also want to just turn it off so it doesn't flip around while I'm trying to work with it. Cool, and over to the hat, the open hat, and there's the sample. There it is. There it is. So what we should have now is the ability to cut off the decay value of this open hat while we're playing it. Let me show you what I mean. I think I might have mapped the wrong decay knob, but that's okay. We'll just use the same one for both. Okay, looks like okay, so I mapped it to decay instead of sustain. That's what I want to do, sustain. Okay, here's what I mean. Cool, and we're actually going to map it to decay too. So we've got the same knob for. There we go. So now you can see what's happening as I twist this MIDI knob over here. The envelope in the bottom right of my screen is giving it a louder and longer value, and then a shorter and kind of quieter value. In fact, we haven't really mapped the quietness of it either. Let's map the velocity to that too. So I'm not exactly sure what the difference is between volume to velocity and time to velocity. I've never really explored that far, but let's just map it to the same knob and see what kind of effects we have using our ears. Yeah, you see it actually. So it gives us this ability to really create these kind of fast action drums. So now what I'm going to do is loop up this section over here. Let's just give this its own loop over here. And we'll come in right here, hopefully with some banging arpeggiated hi-hats. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like the this is quite cool. I like this. Sounds like something that a progressive drum producer, beat maker in the 80s might have come up with. So that's cool. Looks like we've also got a snare drum that is out of place. Make sure that this is all quantized to an 1/8, and that should sort that out. Yeah, that looks nice and even. Cool, the snare is just a little bit too soft for my liking. I think it needs to come up. Let's take it up by, say, 9 B, so -6. It's 80. It's pretty 80s. I don't want to do the gated snare thing where you have like a lot of reverb that then gets cut off, because this is a fast tune, and with a lot of those snares stacked up on top of each other in a short time, it's going to start to sound a bit like cluttered. So let's just keep it like this. We can do the fine tuning later. Right now it's just about finding the vibe. Problem with this approach that I've got now is it does start to sound like a machine gun. Let's try and just get some vibe in here. That's quite cool. I'm gonna do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. And the last two I'm happy with because there were mistakes in them, and that's where the magic is. Did I record the mistakes? Yes, it looks like I did, which is nice. Let's take the last 4 bars of this and treat this as our new bass go-to. And I'm not trying to do that, I'm trying to do this. Cut this crop loop. Oh man, it stretches your brain to try and like work and explain things at the same time. But here, I'm here for you guys if you need any explanation. Main issue I'm facing now is I can't seem to crop this loop. See what I mean? Okay, automation. Let's get it to here. We're gonna get rid of it. Okay, start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. No, we want the 4. So it's actually starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit long on that first one. That's good. Okay, it's got an original sounding hi-hat that makes me happy. I like it. Let's not quantize it. I also think we got maybe a bit too much kick in here. Let's try another kick. Maybe we could use that as a B section, but for now let's just do, I'm going to label that kick B. I want to just get a different kick in here. That can be it, that's fine. Get the kick over here, we see quantize that. This snare I don't like. We can fix that in a minute. 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Looks like we might have a kick problem. Just a straight beat is fine. It's more about the quality of the samples and the production value than it is about the musical composition. This is not orchestral music. It's not terribly nuanced, or should I say, the nuance lies in the production itself. That's the skill involved here. Spent a lot of time learning that. Don't try to package one. Don't try to, write brilliant music and then package it as, more simple music, and don't try to write more simple music and which relies more heavily on production value and try and package it as, something that can be written down like with sheet music. There is a spectrum, and you've got to decide where you want to land on it. Don't try to be everything is what I'm saying. Don't, just pick your battles basically. Okay, Yam snare is our snare, and I'm not loving it. So let's try and find another one. Where is my snare? Where is my snare? There we go, cool. I do like these kind of little tom-toms. There it is. Okay, what don't I like about this? Why doesn't it work? And can we do better? How about this one? That slap is okay, but not great. Definitely going to use those clicks. That's not going to work, so I'm going to just go do a little bit of sample hunting here, and you can be part of it. I'll let you into my library. What we're looking for is an 80s snare, so I'm just going to search for 80s. I could maybe grab one of these samples. We only want samples, so let's filter by type. This is always a mission. You should be able to remember that. Type AIFF, so it's gone alphabetically. Snare, here we go. Snare zombie 80s. It's to stereo. And then we're out of the snare space. So let's. These are loops. No, not interested in that. Okay. This is just for some reason. I want to hear what that sounds like. Let's get over to Yam snare and replace it. I do like it. That's much better, yeah. I mean, it's got the tom in it, which makes it sound like, you know, more 80s, but that sounds good to me. Then the kick has to be also a little bit more vibey, so let's look for a couple of kicks. I need my overall cue volume to come up. Yeah, you don't actually hear this, do you? So what I'm doing now is I've got the master running restream, which shows up in as that's the audio feed for the stream that you hear on YouTube. But when you sample stuff in your library or you turn on the click track, that doesn't feed through into the master bus, so you're unable to hear it when I'm scrolling through these samples, unfortunately. Not a problem I'm going to spend too much time solving. Let's layer up a couple of kicks here. We've got this one's called Vinyl 80s. Let's see how that sounds. I have a feeling that we shouldn't have replaced that snare. We should have actually, you know, used it, layered it. So let's try and fix that. 80s drum, this one here. Don't need that, but we do need this to be grouped. So now the snare can be layered up. Let's try that. First things first, duplicate the device. And then now we find a balance between the two. It's got a little bit of that reverb vibe to it. Well, it's got quite a lot of reverb actually, but that's good. Okay, I think that's a good start for now. I'm just trying to get this nice balance here for him. Okay. I've sorted the results by type, that's why. Right, we need to get an EQ8 in here. Should not be hard. I've gone and snookered myself. Searching for EQ8 should never take more than 4 seconds. Okay, EQ8 can go into... Yeah, I think this is just going to be a snare on its own. Looks like I've got one here already though, so maybe that's pretty badass. Now I also want to just get a mono utility on here, because I feel like the snare should be completely mono. Yeah, feels better like that. Now you need some balls in the snare. Let's get the... Okay. Maybe I'm just getting into the weeds here, but maybe like a little bit of a narrowing of the width, but not quite just pure mono, just like a little bit of stereo width right in the middle, but keeping it very tight, not letting it filter out into the rest of the space. Same for the kick. We want the kick to be very much mono, straight down the center. So I'm gonna make sure that the kick gets its okay, so now what we've got here is this needs to actually be in here as a multi. Okay, it doesn't sound good at all. Because why? Alright. So I'm building instruments here, and this is getting kind of edging towards like having a custom library of sounds. But I'm not actually loving the sound of this kick at the moment. Now we've got two weird sounding kicks, okay. Yeah, that's definitely not the right one. So let's just keep looking for a suitable kick to make this sound nice in 80s. I think the trick here is just to stick with what you know, and that beefy. It doesn't really matter too much because, you know, when you give away these templates, people are free to change the samples into whatever they want. So let's try that. And then don't forget our 80s sounding it looks like we've lost a bit of that automation, haven't we? Not the intended effect. What we want now is this with its velocity automation values intact. Let's hear this. That's it, yeah. So why is it that when I head over here, it fails to... There we go. Cool, that's what I'm after. I see, it hasn't copied over the automation the whole way through. Okay, so I see what's going on here. We need to actually copy the entire automation as a linked. I'm just going to do it like this. Duplicate the whole thing, so we've got... Now the beat should stand alone on its own, because there might be a moment in the track where you want to just, you know, have a drum break or something like that, and it can't sound like too bad on its own. So I don't like this beat actually. I think that I think mimicking the bass like that is a better idea. So yeah, I think that's a better idea. Let's just record that. Okay, I'm having trouble recording it because of latency and a lack of click. So here we go. 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm starting to have my doubts about this hi-hat. Let's go. Okay, recording kick in a second. Cool, let's try that. We're just gonna like tighten it up a little bit over here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So what, yeah, okay, so I think the kick's fine. Now I've just got the issue with the automation on this. So what if we did just spaced this out a little bit, made it sound a bit better. Okay, good. So then we can just go back to here. Sorry, here, the click, the hi-hat. Okay, take it back to the start of the loop, and here we go. What are you doing today? If you've just joined the stream and you're interested in what's going on, let me know what you're up to. I love chatting to people while I work. If you're new to the channel, I release music templates, so this whole production is going to be released as is the Ableton template, including all of the files and editability, no copyright. So it's a resource for music producers who want to start with something other than a blank page. I do release them quite often. Check out my Patreon, become my first patron if you want, and check the link in the channel description, because there's a free download of these music templates that I've made so far. This collection of 80s sounding stuff I will be adding to the free downloads when it's done, or maybe just as we go. And yeah, the point of all of this is just to make music production a bit more accessible, especially for people who are just starting on their journey. And now I'm writing the bulk of the kind of composition today, the beef of it. So yeah, glad to have you on my journey. Nice of you to be here. Okay, this is all going to sound a lot better once we get the bass in, but for now let's just get the hi-hats recorded. So we're going to go up to this. Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to actually need to oscillate between static hi-hats and arpeggiated hi-hats. Alright, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Oops. There we go. Nope. Trying to record the hi-hat part coming right up. Okay, and then we'll do an open hat over there at the end. So that's going to be one instance of a static hi-hat loop. Let's quantize that to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's right. Boom. No, static. Which one is it? It is open hat over here, right up next to it. Yeah. Here we go. Cool. Let's loop this chapter over here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is one sort of cycle. There we go. All right. I'll keep these all separated. I think it's easier to work with when you've got different channels for different instruments. So I'm going to call this toms, hats, and then hats arp, just to kind of separate that out, which means I don't need that in that section or that in that section. Okay, cool, let's get on with it. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Action music. Excuse me, this should be a loop. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Crop clip and loop it. Cool. Put myself back on the left over here. Alright kids, we're getting all 80s vibes here. Let's make it happen. Let's get musical. Where are we? No, that's too much. Coming up with a chord progression, just kind of, noodling around. I think that should only be really so the feeling of this is okay, I'm feeling like something like this. I feel like I should switch over to keys right now, because that's where the action is. Keys are going to be here. We can also just move the whole kick ensemble down. It'll give us more access to the notes. Allow me to use this to select a bit more easily. This APK 25. Oh, this one here. It's a bit low. Dun 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 dun. Take this up a bit in volume. I need to hear what I'm playing to be able to write music. You need to hear what you're playing. Just gonna have to knock it up. It's quite a trippy sound, eh? Okay. Let's just take it up here. So this is a C major 7, so D minor. So how that sounds? Not loving the keys though. I feel like it needs to be a Rhodes, or even something like chip tune. Let's see if we've got a Rhodes vibe in here. At the very least, I need to be able to hear what I'm, even if we change the instrument later, I've got to hear what I'm doing. Hello. Okay, we're going to now insert a new track. This one is 80s FM Rhodes. It's a bit too smooth, not really what I'm after. Generally a nice sound though. Media files are missing on that one, no luck there. And not really a Rhodes. Let's try FM. I'm look for FM piano. 80s FM E piano, I think that's what I had. Yeah, that's kind of what we are. How does the harpsichord sound? Media files are missing. Very, very, very in your face. Xylophone. Not really what I'm going for. Although this is interesting to me. What is Eddie's tom drums? Not really, not really. Okay. So now we're sample browsing, which is kind of like where you end up stagnating. I'm looking to make some progress on this. Like the vibe here is that, you know, you've only got an hour or something. You've got to really move it. So let's just go with that then. I'm feeling this. Okay, how about this high one? It's more like about deciding where the rhythmic stabs are going to be. So, take this nice and take it one step at a time. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's good. And then we can get to that other section. One little slip up on the MIDI, but it's fine. Join that and just correct the mistake on the MIDI. Quantize it to not quite 100%, 16th at 80%. A little bit of humanity in it. Okay. Let's see where this one is. that's fine. We'll do 2 of those, and then why is the beat suddenly so wonky? Don't like it. And I think I might have cut this one a little bit short. Hey, yeah, you can see there the length is, I made the mistake of making the length slightly shorter than it should be, so now correcting that, and you've got a perfect beat. Cool. Gonna wrap this up in a few minutes, kids, but we're making progress. That's the main thing. Dun, 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 dun. Let's take this up an octave and bring the velocity down. No, that's going to be. We want some frequent epic moments, if that makes sense. So I'm hearing like the third iteration, so 1, iteration 1, 2, passive phrase. I feel like it should be here. There should be a. Now we've got to change back to keys over here. No. Just take it from the right moment. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Oops. I'm also on the wrong key, piano patch. Alright, it's fine. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And good. Again. Not from there though, from here. Okay, let's just quantize that. No. These guys are here. It's actually quite nice that's okay. We're gonna join those two. These little moments are really what it's about, in my opinion and experience. It's finding little offbeat irregularities at a really small level. Enough of those can really. It's a pleasant type of disorientation when the listener expects they hear, okay, you're hearing din 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 din, and you think that's how it's going to go, and then suddenly something jolts you out of that deviation from the rule that's been established. So I know the sound of this sucks right now, but we'll get to that now. Din, din. Din, 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 din. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Let's find a different sound for this. Okay, what if we brought it back to that in a minute? It should actually be ding 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 ding, like a piano, not a. Let's get the piano in here. Grand piano. No, right, grand piano. I know there's a native Ableton grand piano, and as you are aware, if you follow this channel, I tend to release only packs with native Ableton effects. That makes it really easy and portable, makes it easy for you to remix the tracks and have fun with them on your own. No VSTs, dependencies, or missing samples. That's the idea here. Get this nice and hard. That's the one. Start playing this out in my mind here. Let's get the keyboard on. So okay, we'll do an entire 2-bar cycle. So I'm going to break the mold of what I usually do, which is just thinking 8s and 16s, and I'm going to actually stretch this out to 32 bars. So we got that whole sequence. Yeah, okay, cool. We're gonna this. It's a 4/1 ending. No. There's a modulation there. 2, 3, 4. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Right. Nice big drum fill to finish that off, and then we've got this entire sequence again, except towards the end. Okay, we'll go to an A major and then to an F major, and I think okay, oh yes, yeah. Okay, right, I know what to do there. Cool. And we'll kind of climb the scale a little bit there. Okay, good. Watch this, kids. We're going to go to a G major and an A7, and then we're going to give this passage some balls. Okay. And then we get to this part, which is do 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 do. Go to there. Oh yeah, and the whole piece suddenly moves up to this kind of G minor tonality. So we've been doing thirds this whole time. Why don't we stretch it out to fifths? 6. Two of those. Let's just get it nicely quantized. Dun, 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 dun. Good, not bad. By definition, that's what good is. We're making some progress here, kids. I think this is going to be the end of the stream, but we are getting there. I almost want so bad to put the bass in right now. But we're out of time. Let's just hear how it sounds. Cool, we're getting there, it'll be fine. Alright, and that's it. Just a little bit of keyboard work done on the B section today of this grand epic 80s piece. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Wednesday this week, no stream. I've got to go and do a gig, which is cool. But I will see you tomorrow again. If you just joined or you're just tuning into the end of the stream, what I'm making here is a sort of a universally downloadable Ableton music template. So free to use, no copyright, and no missing samples or VSTs. So I release these really easy to use music templates, portable music templates, because I enjoy making music and sharing it with the world. So if you want to be a patron, my first patron, check the link in the channel description. Also, download the free pack, see if you like it. If you do, come back next week. I stream every day, 2 p.m. UTC, so come join. And yeah, subscribe, share the channel, share the love, and see you in the next one. Thank you guys so much for joining. Adios.